children?
Okay, I've been teaching children with special needs this is my 17th year. I work with students who are identified gifted, but then I also have experience with different disabilities through adaptive music and serve on a lot of teams and committees, so I work with a lot of variation in special education.
Okay, what school are you currently at?
I am currently at Park Hill Elementary, Oaklawn Elementary, Cooper Elementary, and El Paso Elementary, and then we also offer centralized gifted services for our elementary students in Derby. They bus to a central location, we call it the Alcove, twice a week for 90 minutes. So to choose the teaching profession initially, I got a voice scholarship to Wichita State, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like, it kind of boosted my confidence, but I knew I wasn't a performer, so I went into music education. So that's what made me choose teaching. And then after 1 year of teaching elementary music, I was part-time and I was looking for a full-time job, and my principal came to me and said, we could do this other part-time job for you, and you could teach gifted kids in the morning and music in the afternoon. What do you think? And I was like, all right. So I started my master's in special education that year. It was just really encouragement from that principal, thinking that I would be good at it and that I would enjoy it. I would probably say the biggest way my ideas of teaching have changed is in the beginning I was really focused on the academics and the standards and the curriculum that I was teaching, and I was really driven to document all of that and make sure that I was hitting each standard and each of those academic skills, and I think I've shifted more to focus on the relationships and build relationships with the students. I work with them for all of their elementary, like K through 5. I work with them year after year, so really found that that's more beneficial. If you have a relationship with the kids, then you can hit the academic concepts and you can hit those standards and skills, but I think I've shifted in my ideas of teaching more towards that relationships and social emotional skills and like helping them become leaders more so. The academics are still important, but I think that's totally kind of flopped in my mind over my years. I don't know. I was really excited, and I was really all about the content. Like, I'm gonna be able to hit all these skills, and I'm gonna be a great teacher, really focusing on those standards, and I was gonna make it engaging and fun for kids. But I don't think I really understood like the workings of a school. Like, building the relationships with your principal and with your secretary and with the people that you work with. I don't think I knew how important that was going to be. I was kind of more focused on my classroom and my students. I didn't see the whole big picture.
What's your ideas now?
Oh, well now I feel like I learn from everybody around me. Every teacher has something that I can learn from them, even from the students. I have 4 buildings that I work in, so I try to really establish relationships in all of those buildings and try to see the whole big picture, like working with families. I love working with parents. Where in the beginning I was really focused on the kids and like that particular skill and that particular student, and now I'm really more about the whole child and their family and the whole building, the climate and culture in those buildings, and trying to just like fit in and learn as much as I can from those experiences. Okay, I don't view it as a lot different because I try to individualize for every student. We have some regular education students that come to our enrichment classes, and I try my best to individualize for them too, and look at each student's interests and needs and try to key in on that. So I don't think it's that different. I would say the challenges aren't so much with the kids. My challenges are with paperwork and the time it takes to schedule meetings and attend meetings and review every goal, write the goals. Trying to write individualized goals is kind of hard because you get into a rut of like you write a good goal and you're like, oh, this would work for this kid and for this kid and for this kid, and really they kind of become not so individualized, has been my experience. But so I'm trying to individualize them more, and then with being in 4 buildings, it's really hard to like talk to the classroom teacher as often as I feel like I should. Like that communication is mostly by email, and sometimes like your tone is off a little or their tone is off a little, and I think it's kind of like just that communication piece is kind of hard. Special education students that I work with, I think there's an advantage to my position because I get to plan the instruction and plan the lessons for the special education students. I don't follow the curriculum that's given to me, like with science, math, reading standards. I get to decide what I think is most important for that student based on their interest and their strengths, and then I get to plan it. So I feel like every day is different and it's student-centered, but I get the freedom to plan it. I would say for sure build a relationship with that parent so that they feel like you're like a united front, like you are advocating for the best interest of their student with them, not 2 separate teams, but build that rapport with them so that they know that you're both on the same page and you want what's best for them. And also with the classroom teacher, because I think that's one of those things that's really hard as a special education teacher to work with a classroom teacher and make sure that the instruction's all aligned and the support level is right and all of that. So those relationships with the teacher and with the parent can make a huge difference in the success of the kid instead of being against them, or not that you have to agree to everything that they want, but if they know that you care about what's best for their student, they're going to be on your page. I would probably require more training for regular education teachers. When I was getting my regular education degree, I think I had 1 class and I didn't really get a good feel for what special education was. And even principals take maybe like 1 class and they don't have a clear understanding of like the laws and the regulations and all of that. It's changing like all the time and it's really hard to keep up with it. So I would maybe try to require more instruction or education for people going into the profession, and then I don't know how to do it, but streamlining the paperwork somehow. I feel like special education teachers spend a lot of time on paperwork when the instruction they're providing is actually really effective and good, but that's taken away to get it all down on paper. But I know it holds people accountable, so I know it's necessary, but that, and then I think what is required of special education and funding is they want us to provide all these resources and materials and services, but there's not really the funding for it there. So it's always a conversation in our IEP meetings, like if the child really needs it or doesn't need it. But then there was a lawsuit just passed in Colorado about you can't just provide the bare minimum for a special needs student. There's not funding there sometimes to do more than that. So I think we have to be really creative with how we meet their needs. I don't have the answers, but that's what I would change if I could. Not choose another career field in education other than as an administrator. I think my job as a teacher in special education and gifted in particular, I love it. It's a lot of fun. I think it has way more advantages than disadvantages. I love the kids, I love the families, I love the instruction that I get to plan. I am looking to be a principal or special ed director, something like that, but only because I really enjoy the diversity of special education. Like some people, it's a huge headache and they don't like it, but I love like the problem solving, trying to find interventions that'll work for a kid. And I work with gifted kids, but I'm the chair of our positive intervention team, and so I love that problem solving aspect. Like we keep a lot of data and documentation to show growth in a student, to know if an intervention is effective or not effective, like that kind of problem solving stuff I love. So that's why I kind of want to move towards administration, kind of fill more of a leadership role. I have thought about if I was not in education, it's kind of dumb, but I would be a meteorologist like Storm Chaser or a marine biologist. I would probably relate that to like my personal experience. So my niece has autism and a chromosome deletion. So it's a very, very rare condition, but I know her mom has struggled with like, she cares so much about her and knows her so well, but sometimes other people don't understand how to communicate with her, or I think that my sister-in-law can come across like kind of blunt or pushy in an IEP meeting when really she just wants what's best for her kid. And I think I would say if you can try to see it from their point of view, like I've tried to help her advocate a little bit and help her choose her words in order to relate to the special education teacher. But if teachers could see things from that different point of view and try to understand where people are coming from when they're working with the kids or wanting what's best for the kids, I think that could help with a lot of communication and a lot of maybe conflicts or problems that come up. Like just in our schools, we've had a lot of parents, upset or angry, or they want this or want that. And I think just to try to understand it and see it, understand the whole child, and their needs, that would be really helpful.